Robco junk? Hello? Hello! Ugh. Blasted pile of Robco junk.
Who is this?
Finally! It's about damn time. I am the Dr. K.S. Magnusson, inventor of the comm hub, what you know as ASAMs, not to mention a myriad of other groundbreaking technologies. And dare I say, young lady, that today is your lucky day. You are about to receive guidance from quite possibly the most brilliant mind left in the wasteland. On the off chance that you're a simpleton, I am referring to me.
Thanks, I guess.
Don't you worry. I'll attempt to keep things nice and simple so that you'll be able to follow along. Now, ever since you reactivated the comm hub, I have been aware of your activities. I know about your efforts to rebuild the Commonwealth, and of your fight against the group called the Gunners. And for the most part, I have approved. However, due to technical difficulties, I have been unable to make direct contact to offer assistance. Until now, at least.
You really from before the war?
Something of a cynic, are we? The Great War, or something like it, was inevitable. It was only prudent that I, and others like me, took the necessary precautions to see us through.
Go on.
Since I was not able to speak with you, I decided to instead monitor Gunner communiques, and redirect anything that appeared relevant or critical via the comm hub, allowing you and your partner to overhear the Gunners and prepare yourselves accordingly. I am glad to see that you have been using this to your advantage.
So it was you?
Yes, it was me. All hail Magnusson, glorious defender of the wasteland. It's thanks to my intervention alone that you managed to keep one step ahead of the Gunners all this time. So, you're welcome. But simply playing telephone is no longer enough. If you're to win this war of yours, you'll need more than overheard radio chatter. You may have noticed the Gunners have equipped themselves with some interesting new weaponry. Energy weapons, nuclear devices, all courtesy of their employer. Well, they're not the only ones who can play that game. I'm forwarding you coordinates to a pre-war cache. It'll have equipment that can help you. You should acquire its contents as soon as you are able.
Why are you helping me?
The Gunners' actions threaten more than just the Commonwealth. If they're not stopped, America's best hope for a future dies.
I might take a look.
Don't be complacent. You either do this, or you don't. And if you want my continued help, you'll do as I suggest. Travel to Wildwood Cemetery. Should still be there. In one of the mausoleums, there's a false tomb. Inside, a ladder leading to a small bunker. Enter, and when prompted, speak the passcode. Moonlight's burning. You'll then gain access to the equipment. There'll be a gun there. Take it. I'll contact you again soon. Until then, I'd consider it a personal favor if you didn't get yourself killed. There's too much at stake, and your demise is not something I care to factor into my calculations.
Hey, darling. Didn't mean to eavesdrop, but that radio call was being piped through the comm array. We heard the whole thing. You really think that was Magnusson? The guy who 200 years ago invented ASAMs? The same guy whose office we were in.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, you're right. If we play along, maybe we'll get a chance to ask him in person. For now, I think we should do what Magnusson says. You should visit this cache of his. Find out what kind of goodies he's offering to help us fight the Gunners with. All right then, good luck, and be safe.
Nice. Perfect. Good. Out of bobby pin. Hey.
Warning, you are in violation of a security zone. Use of lethal force is imminent.
Moonlight's burning. Excellent.
Damn it! It's broken!
Magnusson here. By now, you must have found my old hideaway. Tell me, what do you think of the gun you found? The Steno?
It's nothing special.
I'm sure some would say the same of you. Of course, they'd be incorrect, just as you are incorrect about the Steno. But not everyone has an eye for quality. And regardless, I must say, I'm pleased you decided to follow my advice. Make sure you keep hold of that rifle. You'll need it.
Why don't you tell me about it?
The Steno was my answer to the electromagnetic arms race. Whilst others attempted to prioritize energy efficiency or construction cost, I instead focused on raw, stopping power. The result, a handheld weapon that can punch through a warship's hull. Provided you give it enough charge, of course.
I've seen enough to know that weapons are the key to winning wars.
Ha! Very true. And under the right circumstances, the Steno could very well be such a weapon. But in this particular scenario, a single rifle won't be enough to win you a war. No, the Steno is but the first stepping stone. To deal with your gunner problem, we're going to require something with a bit more firepower.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Tell me, have you ever looked up at the night sky and pondered, what's up there? It's more than just stars, you know. Hundreds, possibly thousands of man-made satellites still orbit this once beautiful globe. And some of those satellites were once part of the United States Atomic Rain Program.
Tell me more.
Operated out of Adams Air Force Base, Atomic Rain was a complex network of orbiting weapon platforms, each armed with tactical nuclear missiles. Now, after being unattended for so long, most of these satellites would have likely malfunctioned or be damaged. But a handful should still be serviceable, patiently sitting idle, awaiting their next command. A command that we shall send them.
To do what, exactly?
I would think that to be obvious. By gaining control of the Atomic Rain satellites, we can commandeer their nuclear arsenal and use it to wipe the gunners off the face of the Earth. In one fell swoop, we can destroy your enemy and put a definitive end to this war. Considering they tried to nuke you, seems a rather poetic response, don't you think?
So? How are you gonna do that?
Not me. You. Whilst I can guide you, in the end it will be your hand pushing the button. Now, you've already acquired the Steno. The next step to gaining control of Atomic Rain requires you to obtain something. But there is a complication.
Sure. Your memory must be terrible.
I'd prefer it if you used the term arbitrarily selective, but your point stands. Whilst my memory is fuzzy, I do recollect something. Saint? Perhaps some kind of church?
Where do I start?
Yes, that is the question. I would say start with St. James, but I have no idea where that is. I do seem to associate that name with a few other places, though. Places like the Old Warren Theater, the Prost Bar, and the... Perhaps if you were to... And then, once we know more about it, chances are likely I'll know where to... Well then!
Second floor. Ah, Madison. Looking as lovely as always.
care for a Nuka Dark?
Good evening,
Don't have any bobby
Magnusson.
pins.
Yes,
I assume
and
this
no.
impromptu meeting
Given our
means
current
a
partnership with
decision has been
Robco,
made.
and your less than amicable parting, there's been discussion regarding the ethics of recruiting your services.
Ethics? Not a word I'd expect to hear from Vault-Tech. Let's cut the crap, Matty. You wouldn't have come all the way here if it was just to say, no deal. Your higher-ups simply think they can get more out of me. And they're not wrong. I know how this game is played. Fine. On top of guiding your attempts to replicate ASAM technology, I'll also see about getting 111's cryotech up to speed, but that is all.
And if my superiors ask what, precisely, you're wanting in return?
Then you make up some plausible-sounding lie. After all, that was part of our deal, Madison. No records, no oversight, complete autonomy. Vault-Tech keeps their nose out, and I do the same in return. No reason for either party to pry too deeply into the other's affairs, or secrets.
You really do know how this game is played.
Well, when you've been around as many politicians as I have, you learn a few things.
You have yourself a deal, Dr. Magnusson.
Ground floor. Ground floor. Fourth floor.
Here, Chief. We got someone in the HQ's meeting room. They want to talk with you. That was all. Nothing else.
My child.
On behalf of my flock, I come to you with the most joyous news. My child. On behalf of my flock, I come to you with the most joyous news. My child. On behalf of my flock, I come to you with the most joyous news. The current gunner threat cannot be ignored, and we see it as our sacred responsibility to aid the Commonwealth's most valiant protector. This is, of course, if you bid our help, welcome.
What type of help?
Those living in Concord are perhaps not as militant or structured as other groups in the Commonwealth, but that doesn't mean they're unable to provide useful support. Resources, local knowledge, a strategic local. There is much we have to offer.
I'd appreciate the help.
Wonderful. Concord's residents have been stockpiling useful supplies. I'll see about diverting some of them to your HQ. And anytime you require guidance, I'd be more than happy to make myself available. May the Lord smile on us and our future endeavors.
Roach meat, I will not be leaving a glowing review.
Well, did you find anything?
I came across a holotape.
Excuse me, do you have a telephone I can use? I have an important call to make.
Of course. This way, Miss St. James.
Well, I'll be a Chinaman's uncle. St. James isn't a place, it's a person. A very specific person. Madison. Yes, I remember now. Madison St. James, Chief Procurement Officer for Vault-Tec. She was the one who recruited me after Robco gave me the boot. She helped salvage my project.
What's this project?
By now, it's possible you've already uncovered some smattering of information. I suppose there's no harm in sharing a little more. You see, before the bombs were finally dropped, a lot of us knew the day was coming. The end of the world, or at least the world that was. Individuals, corporations, governments, they all prepared for the worst. Ways to survive a nuclear apocalypse. For example, Vault-Tec had their vaults, Pulowski with their preservation shelters. I, however, had a better idea. As grand as it was attainable, all I lacked was the means. That's why I approached Robco with my idea, and later why I agreed to work with Vault-Tec. But things didn't transpire quite as I anticipated. For now, that's all I care to share.
Skip to the good part, Doc?
Thanks to that holotape, I now remember where I hid what you'll need to hijack Atomic Rain. Obviously, Miss St. James was not the location, but she was the one who granted me access to it. The technology you need is hidden in Vault 111. That's where you need to go.
Good work, Doc. I know the way.
Of course you do. And if I might add, I'm quite impressed by your attitude. There's not many who possess your composure and drive. I shall make contact with your partner. You'll be requiring his assistance. I'll have him meet you by the vault's entrance. And about returning to 111. I understand this may bring up some complicated emotions for you, but I assure you that this is necessary.
I really don't care.
Ah, I see. I just thought that you may have reservations given all that's transpired. But I guess not. You have your assignment. I suggest you make haste. Oh, and don't forget to bring the steno.
Oh, hey. I got a call through the comm array. From Magnusson, of all people. Said to grab my tool belt and meet you here. What's going on?
Well, we can find out the answer.
Ah, there you are. I assume you're at the vault. Good.
Hey, Dr. Magnusson? Jake speaking. If you don't mind my asking, what exactly are we doing here? I mean, I get that we're gonna hijack a bunch of satellites to blow up the gunners, but...
Have no fear, my boy. All shall be explained.
Let's hear it.
Your summation of the plan is correct, if a tad nebulous. We shall indeed hijack the atomic range satellites, but in order to do so, we must establish a connection to the satellite network. And for that, we'll have to replicate a pre-war mainframe.
What, like a supercomputer? No problem. I've got a few ASAMs with me. Just send over some blueprints and we can start construction right away.
Whoa there, Sonny. Hold your horses. I'm afraid those paperweights you call ASAMs aren't up to the task. That's why I've sent you here.
Go on, Doctor.
Now, as you're both aware, ASAMs enable even the mentally deficient to construct fairly elaborate structures with great proficiency. But what you may not know is that the devices you've been using are not true ASAM sensors. Robco stole my designs and simplified them, bastardized what should have been one of the greatest technological breakthroughs into a cheap product. But if we're going to build something as complex as this supercomputer, we're going to need the real McCoy. We're going to need an ASAM sensor built to its original specifications.
Where can we find one of those?
Look down, and you'll have your answer. Go ahead and start the vault's entry sequence. Head inside, and I'll guide you the rest of the way.
Here we go. So this is Vault 111. Looks in pretty good condition, all things considered.
Your signal is starting to get weak. Set the vault's comm system to our radio frequency. Yes. There we are. Much better. Now, start working your way towards the cryo chambers. Before the bombs fell, I hid a holotape containing the original schematics for a number of my inventions down here, including the ASAMs. That's...
Small problem, Doc. Looks like the vault security has kicked in. It sealed the way.
Well, if you're where I think you are, you should see a fire control unit near a doorway.
Yeah, we see it.
Lock the intake near the bottom. It'll trick the vault into thinking a fire has broken out. Should open the Overseer's emergency escape.
Bingo! That did the trick. But wait, if there was a fire, shouldn't the door have remained closed?
Yes, it should have. But Vault Tech were never big on fixing design oversights. That's why they resorted to bringing in people like me.
Well, okay then. We're heading in. So, Dr. Magnusson, you worked on Vault 111?
Speaking. You see, Vault Tech were struggling to achieve successful cryogenic suspension. Test subjects were being prematurely thawed out, resulting in tissue damage and cellular bonding with the consistency of runny oatmeal. I have a background in the field of cryogenics, so I offered my expertise in exchange for supplies, and the funding for my pet project.
This isn't the first time you mentioned this project of yours. Would it be out of line if I asked what it was?
Yes, it would.
We got another sealed door. And I don't think the fire control trick is gonna work again.
You're in the Overseer's office, yes? You should be able to override the door controls from in there. Take a look around.
Good job. All right, Doctor, I won't ask about your project again. But I would like to know why you'd hide your invention schematics down here and not someplace else. There must have been a reason.
I can respect a curious mind. I'll answer that query. It wasn't only that holotape I planned to hide down here, but myself also. I reserved the use of a cryochamber, part of my payment from Vault Tech.
You were gonna freeze yourself? Down here? Why?
I had set plans in motion that would take some time. Until said plans had seen fruition, there seemed little point in remaining conscious.
Did you run out of time to make it down here, or...?
No, I chose not to come. I discovered Vault Tech never intended for me, or anyone else, to leave Vault 111. We were all to stay on ice, permanently.
Hey, we're seeing a bunch of those pods. What now?
Find and open my cryo chamber.
Okay. How do we know which one is yours?
It'll be the chamber I'm not in?
Right. This one's empty. Assuming this pod wasn't yours, this must be the right one. Go ahead, open it up. It's open. What do we do now?
Next, you'll have to remove a component from the steno.
Oh, right. You mean that magnet rifle of yours. Hey, darling, can you pass me the gun?
No, I'll hold on to it. For now.
I promise, I'll give it back as soon as I'm done with it.
What do you need it for?
Well, don't look at me. I'm just following the instructions of the disembodied voice.
You two quit screwing around. I swear, you're worse than first-year lab techs.
Not right now. Just stay put.
What? Something you need to do? Okay, just make it quick.
Hi. Sure. Here you go.
Thanks.
Check the rifle's coil assembly. You'll notice a small control board. Pull out the gold-colored chip. Don't worry, it's designed to be removed.
Wow. That's one tiny chip. Hang on, I need to find the right tool for this. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. Oh, I get you. So the chip in this rifle is like a key.
Precisely. And this key will open the way to where I hid the holotape. You'll find its accompanying lock on the intersection of my cryo chamber.
All right, got the chip. Let's try giving this key a turn. Whoa, now.
Sealed off and concealed an old maintenance tunnel. The only way to find it was if you knew it was there. And if you had the key, of course. You'll find the holotape you need at the end of the tunnel.
Well then, after you, darling. Hell's teeth, it's cold down here. Sealed tight. Looks like this door on its own power supply, but it's long out of juice. Hey, Doc. You got another closed door down here. Any ideas? Dr. Magnusson? Huh. Guess we're too far down for the radio to work. Looks like we're on our own. This door's frozen shut. I don't think we can pry it open. We're gonna need a fusion core to get it open again. If you don't happen to have a core handy, take a look around. Maybe we'll get lucky. In the meantime, I'll see what I can do here. Open says you. Nicely done. Well, let's keep going. Let's see here. Now this looks promising. Let's see here. Hello there, little terminal. What you've got to say? Huh. Well, this is definitely where Magnusson hid the holotape. Only problem is, I think it's down at the bottom of that flooded elevator shaft. I'm sending it to the command to ascend, but nothing's happening. Maybe all that water's putting too much strain. I'm open to any suggestions you'd care to venture.
Let me think about it.
Sure thing. I'm sure there'll be a solution in here somewhere. We just need to find a way to get to that holotape. The elevator now. All right, elevator coming up. Let's go take a peek, shall we? That looks like the holotape. Seems no worse from wear after its prolonged soak. Huh, seems there's some other goodies too. I'll keep hold of this for now. I'm gonna head back up. Let Magnusson know we found the tape. Come find me when you're ready. Hold on, I want to talk with Magnusson first. Hey, Doc, we found the holotape. Dr. Magnusson, are you there? I guess something must have come up. Suppose for now, I'll just keep hold of the holotape until we hear from him again.
We got what we needed.
Yeah, you're right. No reason to hang around. Say, if you don't mind the question, how are you doing? I mean, being back in 111. You okay?
I don't care.
Oh, okay. Sorry to bring it up. Just so you know, I'm here for you if you ever need anything. I mean, that's what a friend is for, right? Well, I'd say it's time for me to head back to the HQ. Hopefully nothing has happened during our absence. Oh, and just an idea, but now that we've explored this place, why not officially lay claim to it? There's a lot of tech down here, not to mention a near pristine vault. That's a valuable resource in and of itself. Up to you, of course. But I think planting our flag here would be a smart move. Anyway, I better get going. Good work today. See you later.